Well, I'm gonna jump on my live today because it seems like since I got home, since I went home to Whitefish, I came back to Edmonton and I'm feeling refreshed. I'm feeling very authentic. I'm feeling very exhausted. Some changes have happened. Some things that have manifested have come true, and gotta be really careful how you manifest because they show up. Your manifestations, they show up. They don't show up how you ask. So I manifested my ex back. Everybody knows, and I'm just gonna speak on it because it's just been irritating. You know, it's been so irritating. Having relationships, knowing that I have control and anger issues, knowing that as a result of being accountable for that, I do take counseling, I do talk to elders, I do meditation techniques. I search far and wide for holistic healing to assist me on my journey, right? That's what we're here for. We're on a journey. This is why I do tarot, because it helps me. You know, tarot readings really, you know, I can just pull a card and it'll tell me a message that I need to hear at that moment, you know? Like this page, when I see the page, because there's the page, there's the queens, there's the kings. And then in some decks there's the princesses, and then there's the knights. The pages are the young ones. The pages are the ones who are learning, right? And they get lessons out of everything. I had a really, really tough lesson last night, and I need to be honest. I prayed for my ex back. I prayed, and I was lonely and crying and whatever. You know, you go through the heartbreak, right? Trauma bond kind of stuff. Hey, you understand there's so much trauma. And he returned. He texted, tried to have a good discussion. I ended up realizing I still had a lot of unhealed trauma as a result of him, like directly related to him. And he was the same. We still have the same, we have a lot to work on. I'm not saying it's, you know, we're getting back together or it's over. It just is what it is. And it really woke up some feelings inside me. It triggered me. And I know I speak about relationships in my readings, that our relationships trigger each other, right? What this is telling me too, like this energy is, hi Tabula, I miss you too. What this energy is telling me too is like, I have to make a decision. I went to visit my old counselor Violet in Saskatchewan, and I told her about it. I'm really open about my life with people, and that's what, you know, I think that's what people love about me. You know, I'm not claiming to be real, you know. My life is together and I'm just a spiritual, amazing person. I got a lot of teachings, but I'm not allowed to share everything because I work with the escapists, I work with the grandmother, you know, I got so many people that come, and I see that I don't ever intend to be Facebook famous or TikTok famous with what I share. I just want to remain humble and be that lady on the side that claps for people, you know. I know there's people who are who aren't meant to be on my level, my frequency at this time. But what I do know and what I am learning is I have to make a decision for myself. I have to make a decision for what I want in my life. I have to make it now. And I've decided that I'm gonna stick with this. I know that I have issues. I know that I'm angry at men, and I know that being angry at men is a result of the way I was raised, you know? Like, I've had one hell of a life, and I don't talk about it a lot. I don't, because it's really nobody's business. I tried to talk about it once, and one man took it as, you know, trying to come in and be my hero. I didn't ask for a hero. I was sharing my story. I said I smudged, I washed my face, and then he went and made a post. He said, I don't know why people post their problems on Facebook and then you try to help them and then they get mad. And I was thinking, you know, and I was blocked after that. And well, because I didn't give you tobacco to help me. I didn't ask for help. I was sharing my situation, right? Because of all the anger I have towards, you know, different things that happened to me throughout my life, it's coming back. They always come back to show us, you know, it's almost like this. Like, how are you going to handle it now, Carmen? And I feel like last night I failed horribly. I went home. I ended up being this manic person that just wanted to be in control, and I wanted him to talk to me, you know, and he shuts down, you know, he shuts down when he gets pressured, and I know this. And then so we have this back and forth that we go through, because he's, you know, we want to be even with each other. We want to have a good relationship. I know we both have that, and I know that, and I love and I respect that about him. But I know when I get in my state of control and I don't get my way, there's something in there that just turns on inside me, and it turned on last night, and I had to sit with it. And oh, did I ever sit with it last night, boy. Sorry, I'm just picking my nose. I sat with it in my apartment, in my safe space. And you know, I sit in my safe space, and I don't just sit in there and, you know, clean up and be happy all the time. I sit in my apartment and I cry and I talk and I journal. I talk to the ancestors. I call every single person who's passed away, you know. Nakum Chick Squeeze, Nakum Jamasin, my Mushim Sam, you know, my daughter Cassie, my brother Wallace, my brother Arnold, my friend Leanne, my cousins Donovan, Jonathan, Maggie, you know, my auntie Donna, my uncle Clarence, you know, my uncle Alan, you know, like there's so many people that I've passed, my nephew Tyrene, you know, there's so many people that I passed. And I even asked his mom, you know, her name is Elaine, to come sit with me as well, and my mom, come sit with us, my brother, you know, come sit with me, you know, I know your spirits are there, and I can feel that energy, and you can do that. You just ask them to come sit with you, and you ask them to come and be with you in your moment. And I'm gonna cry right now because you can feel that. They when they leave this earth, yeah, they leave physical, but their spirits are there. And it's almost like when you feel that Holy Spirit day. I guess there's these Christian teachings that are very, very true. I'll talk about that in a different live, but you can literally feel the energy around you. And it was comforting. And I felt like a little girl, you know, crying to my mom and his mom, like, Mom, I failed again. I flipped out on him again. I got mad, and I got angry and controlling, and I called him. He didn't answer because, and I had to sit with that. I'm sitting with that all day today. And I thought, well, I'll jump on a live. I haven't been on a live lately. And I know a lot of people deal with their own issues and they make themselves wrong for it. I'm not making myself wrong for it. I'm not wrong for wanting to be heard. But I know that because I come from a place of being traumatized. I feel like I need to be heard, and I need to be angry to be heard. I don't need to be angry to be heard. I'm learning that I need to step back and respect people's times, because I don't. And it's a new beginning for me happening right now. Today, as I'm sharing me flipping out on this man last night, he didn't deserve that. He really didn't. He didn't deserve for me to be calling him nonstop, flipping out, wanting him, demanding him to answer me. But I also don't deserve to be lied to, right? So I don't deserve to be like, because I know he lied to me. That's what triggered me, that trigger. But, you know, we have to find the respect within ourselves where we're going to be reacting from a place of trauma, or not reacting at all, acting from a place of love. If I love myself, I wouldn't have did what I did. If I loved myself completely, truly, honestly, on all levels, I would relax, let the Creator do her job, let it go. But I didn't. But that's what we're here for as humans. We're here to learn. We're here to make these, you know, these experiences. I don't call them mistakes. They're experiences, and to learn. I'm still very angry. There are different ways, different options to get through any solution. And this is what I'm feeling right now. I'm looking, and there is different. I'm just not seeing that they're ready for me to grab. You know, maybe there's, you know, taking a step back and just letting things play out as they should. And it's hard for me to do, because being alone in the city and not having anyone else to support me, I have no one to fall back on. I have to have an income. So for me, work is first. Work is first. You know, I do have to make my money. I have to do my and this also with this is teachings, right? Teachings, again, not just sitting in ceremony, teachings. I had a good teaching last night. I realized I still have control issues with this man. I realized that, oh, he really triggers me. And this guy's my soulmate. And that's the shizzy part. I'm trying not to swear in my lives. That's the crappy part. He's my soulmate. I've seen him in a past life. I've seen him in my past life. I've seen my past life where I was sitting, like, the same haircut. And I've told this story before. I was this big warrior woman, big muscles, you know, armor. I had all these women around me who were all standing there. And I was like, this really happened. And we were huge. And we were hurting people. And I believe that every single person that I've read, that I have an interaction with, I believe I've heard them in my past life. So this is what I'm here for, is to help. I got to be a helper now. And so I asked, what role did he play in there? You know, Brandon. Well, I held him hostage. I held him prisoner. And now look what's happening in this life. I'm still trying to have those invisible chains on him to hold him here. I can't do that. I have to let him go, because he's an autonomous being. And I'm learning that as I'm going, right? And me to admit this live to you ladies and to you people, this is hard for me, but I got to, right? Because, you know, we don't we need a safe space where we can talk about these things and not be judged. Oh, you shouldn't do that to your man. You got to do this. No, I'm going to live and learn the way I'm designed because I'm perfect how I am, right? So I got hysterical last night. I cried, and I know I deserve better. I do. So I'm going to step back, and in order for me to deserve better, I got to be better. I'm going to be better. You're going to treat me with respect. I'm going to teach you how to respect me. You too know how to do this. You could treat people. You teach people how to teach you. How to treat you, right? So, leveling up. This card is giving me everything I need to know right now. I am leveling up as I'm sitting here talking to you because I sat here and I was embarrassed and I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, I feel like crap. You know, I yelled at him. I was screaming. Like I called him over. You know, I went crazy. I was just mad. I was angry. Like, my God. Night before, I'm just all happy. Oh, Creator, thank you. I'm so glad he's back in my life. I just missed him. Everybody knows how much I missed him. And it was awesome. But I also kept myself accountable. I called my auntie. You know, I called my great aunt. You know, I called my cousin. Called my elder, and I said, hey, he's coming back in my life. I need guidance. You know, I didn't just jump in and be like, okay, we're going to fall in love and live happily ever after with all the baggage we still have, you know, from our past relationship. No, we're going to work through this. And if he doesn't, I can't force him. I can only clean my side of the sidewalk. So that's what I'm sharing here with you guys today. So, keeping myself accountable. You guys know I have a temper. So, how does auntie learn? From other aunties, right? So, I'm inviting you guys to come sit with me. Come share, you know. Come spread your knowledge with me too, right? So, don't tell me what to do though. One thing I do not condone. You should do this. You should do that. I've been shitted on my whole life. And when you shit on your body, it feels like your body's like, well, I guess I'm not doing enough then. Well, you know. So I don't shit on myself and I don't shit on other people. Should, because it sounds like that word, should. You're shitting on them. So tell me, what have you done to, you know, to work on your anger issues, your control issues? What have you done, you know? Tell me in a good way, right? So I'm offering this cyber tobacco to you to let me know, right? So I'm bringing it forward here. We have to connect. We're all connected. We all need that. You know, nobody has one you know, great teaching. Nobody has all the answers to everything. We all have that connection. We all have our different gifts we all have to bring forward, right? So I know I'm being hard on myself, but I also know the message is loud and clear here for me to learn something from this. I'm never going to get rid of this man. I'm never going to get rid of him, and I'm happy. You know, I love this man to death. I love him so much. Everybody knows I love him, right? But I gotta heal something in here in order for me to love him correctly. I'm not asking him to love me correctly. That's his problem. Mine is my issue. I gotta fix mine, right? That's where I am, right? So, and it's about being, having that respect. So it doesn't mean I gotta go start being his friend or start talking to him. I do have to set my heavy boundaries. I do have to adhere to my own belief system and grow from it. I also have to listen to what my elders have to say, my cousins have to say. I know I can be emotionally manipulated. A lot of stuff is coming up from this, right? And it's amazing to sit with this, and it's amazing to share it with you, right? Because, you know, it's medicine speaking, it's medicine talking, it's medicine, right? So, and see, I'm already healing as I'm sitting here. I'm already looking better. I'm feeling better. You know, my eyes are starting to shine a bit, right? I feel good. Things from my childhood are coming back here too. I have control issues today because I did not have control as a child. You see the child here in the background and me here? My past is creeping up on me. I got the answer. Thank you for that answer. I just answered my own question. That's why I like doing readings. We're learning as we're sitting here. We're learning, we're teaching. Everything is a teachable moment, right? Everything is, every experience, even, you know, seeing a random person that looks like your ex or seeing a random person that looks like your son, you know, it brings up memories inside you. Everything's a teachable moment. I sat by the river last night. We have a meme about that. It's like every time you sit by the river, you just start feeling connected. I'll post it later on my Facebook. And I did. I went to the river last night and I was crying and I was sad and I was mostly disappointed in myself for exploding. I exploded. I sat by the river and I took some tobacco. And I went and threw that tobacco, you know, and I was wearing heels, so I was kind of like sliding down the river because it's cement there, right? But I went and I threw my tobacco and, you know, because I throw my problems, issues into the river because the river's flowing and it takes it away, right? I don't throw it in still water. I don't throw it in a lake because it just sits there, it stinks, it's stagnant. I throw it in the river so it takes it. So I asked, you know, grandmothers, grandfathers, ancestors, everybody who passed away last night, you know, in my, you know, everybody who passed away, I asked them last night, help me, you know, to take away this control, the control. Help me to work on what I can control in here. I can control my temper. I control my actions. I can control my words. Help me to get rid of trying to control other people, right? Then I went home and then I cried. And then the tears, as you cry them out, they actually will take the energy with them. This is why we cry. This is why crying and talking are healing as well. Because you can, you know, there's people I know who can see with their third eye, who can see when people are talking, there's energy, right? So, it's not going to happen overnight, right? It's not going to be an overnight process. It's going to take a while here for me to go through this, but it is a learning process. So I am asking people to help me through this here too, right? Because it is embarrassing what I did, and you know, right? So, I'm going to delete this live anyways too, so. Protection. When I pulled this card, it's always talking about Vipannasa. We know what Vipannasa, it's protocol. We take that as Sweat Lodge. I gotta go get I gotta get my butt into ceremony here soon. I think I'm gonna go check out a Sweat Lodge here soon. So if anybody wants to come to a Sweat Lodge, I'm gonna head out to one probably this weekend, right? You know, give me a ring, right? If you're in Edmonton, and I'll pick you up. I got a nice vehicle. It's warm. It's full of bird poop because my bird poop's everywhere in it, but you can come, right? So this one is telling me to take some cloth into a lodge and enhance my prayers. When we go to the Sweat Lodge, sun dances, right? Those prayers are enhanced because everybody's grandmothers and grandfathers are there and they're all helping us too, right? That's the beauty of that, right? So, yeah, that's all I have today. I'm here at Up the River all day, every day. Come visit, and as usual, bring dry meat to me, please. Okay, enjoy your day, yo.